The Food and Drug Administration has approved another blood test to help find out whether or not a person has developed Alzheimer's disease. The FDA has okayed this test. It was developed by Roche Diagnostics with the help of pharmaceutical company Eli Lilly. Officials say the test is geared towards adults 55 and older who might be showing signs of cognitive decline. It works by testing for high levels of protein known to be associated with Alzheimer's. This is the second blood test that the FDA has approved to help detect Alzheimer's.
All right, it's a horrible disease. Anything we can do to advance, medicine around it is important. It's one of those tough things, though. We've talked about this with the genetic testing available now, if you really want to know or not. Yeah.
That is an interesting dilemma.
Yeah.
And something to think about.
Yep.
A lot.
Yep.
Like what you're predisposed for.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, do you want to know, especially if it's something that there's no known treatment or cure for? Sure. Like, is it better to know, or is it better just not to know and live life?
Yeah. This topic hits home. I mean, I've talked about this many times, so I don't need to get into it deeply again. But my father has Alzheimer's, and he's only 75 years old, and it's moved along at a pace where he's not driving any longer. I talked to him on the phone. He lives out in Denver. I am trying to finish his sentences for him a lot of the time, or help him come up with the word that he's trying to think of. And it's tough on all fronts. From his point of view, like, he knows he has it, and it's frustrating for him. It requires a lot of patience, for his loved ones. Especially my stepmother, who's kind of the primary caregiver for him. But he was involved in a study where he did get a lot of the brain scans, and he does have the genetic profile done. So as a family, we know, those genes that he has, and I, at the very least, have one of them. So I have already an inclination.
Oh, you already know that.
I already know that I have at least one gene.
Okay.
I don't know my mother's side. She may or may not have that in her family. Her father passed away at a young age in his 50s, so we don't know about her father. But her mom maybe had dementia, and she passed away in her 80s. Had a little dementia at the end, but it wasn't Alzheimer's. So hopefully there's no gene passed to me there. But I could have genetic profiling done on myself. I just don't know that I want to know, because it doesn't guarantee that you are going to get it.
One way or the other, right?
One way or the other. And B, so say, like, I know that I've got, a high chance. Basically the ways to combat it are, good sleep. Okay, that's not happening on this shift. Eating well. I do eat well, except on weekends I let loose, but whatever, I think during the week I eat very well.
Balance.
Exercise, and no alcohol. So, I do a lot of exercise. I'm very active. I do have alcohol in I do consume it, so I don't, you'd make decisions on, do I want to sacrifice what I enjoy doing at this age for, a chance to live brain quality of life later on.
Right, with no guarantees.
With no guarantees.
No, because it happens both ways. My grandfather had Alzheimer's for the last 5 or 6 years of his life, and that's a long time, and it's hard. It's very hard. My father never had it. His daughter never had it. None of my other family members have had it or have signs of it. There's no prostate cancer anywhere in my entire family's history. I did get it. Yep. So, it's you can. I'm not saying caution to the wind, but everything with a grain of salt. And do you want to know? Do you know? I mean, if it's something, specifically genetic that you can test early for, that you can maybe at least get a heads up on. Like, so now that I've had prostate cancer, all of my boys are going to have prostate cancer tests when they turn 40, because I'm going to mandate it. Usually it's 50. Well, now you have a family history.
I feel like that's a little bit different, though. That's testing for the disease.
Right. So unless it's that.
So are you having your boys change their, is there, like, their diet?
There's nothing.
Do they consume
prostate
caffeine,
cancer has nothing
alcohol?
to do with any of that.
There's nothing that will that escalates the chances of
I won't say
getting
nothing. I mean, none of my kids. You'd have to be an excessive drinker for a long period of time, and it's possible there'd be like I think it's a 4% higher chance.
it's not
of
a very
prostate
high
cancer.
chance.
So
that's what the studies have
basically
shown so
no,
far.
but yes, if
Yeah.
you abused something for
Right.
sure.
So studies don't really. There's no like.
No, because
Right.
when my PSA was getting tested
Yeah,
and it kept
yeah.
going up, I go, oh, I'll cut out red meat. He's like, no, that's colon cancer. I go, oh, all right, okay, well, I'll do this. He goes, this is not dietary.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you're
yeah.
not doing anything. You didn't
Right.
cause this.
Right.
It just kind of happens. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, that stinks.
Yeah,
so,
it does.
But with that, right, we'll have a heads up on it.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's different.
Right,
So,
that is different. That is because it's knowing ahead for early detection
Yeah.
as opposed to
Sure.
sort of knowing that there's a chance and then there's a chance and then there's a chance and then there's
So
a chance.
did
right?
you guys ever weigh in on that? I don't remember this topic. Did you weigh in on whether you'd want to know or not?
Yeah,
I-
we talked about
we
it
did
at
talk
length
about
one
it.
day, probably when you were off.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think for me,
a
not.
hard no.
I'm a
Hard no.
waffling no.
Yeah, I'm a hard no.
I think I'm the same as
Yeah.
you, a waffling no. If I knew for a fact, like, okay, I'm going to get it or I'm not going to get it, I think I would probably choose knowing it.
Right.
But if it's not going to guarantee one way or the other,
if there's
it's
no
just going to
definitive
say like,
way.
okay, you have these two like
Sure.
your
You have a
chances
higher
are 50%.
possibility. Right.
I don't think I'm going to change the way I live my life.
Right. Right.
Because I enjoy my life right now. I enjoy the quality of my life right now. And even at the age of 70 plus, do I want quality of life then? Yes. But is that quality of life like mostly in the house, like watching shows like anyway because you're just naturally aging? Heck, I could get hit by a car, or I could have a heart attack, or something else could take me out. There's no guarantee that Alzheimer's is going to be the thing that gets me.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
might not live that long. You might not live that long. We might not live that long to get to that point. So
Oh, I'm living that long, but that's a whole
Hopefully.
other story. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
My mother's 82, has never sat inside of her house for more than 5 minutes. So your quality of life will be just fine. I'll make sure
Yeah.
I get you out. I'll come visit
you're
you.
going to come wheel me out?
get you out of there.
You're going to wheel me out, huh?
I'll challenge you to something and you'll get right up.
Oh, that's
That's
right.
right. There you go.
Wheelchair races.
Don't think that's not going to happen.
Oh gosh, I can see it now.